At its latest developer conference, Microsoft didn't just announce a few new products. Nope, they declared the beginning of a whole new technological era. So we're going to break down their vision for what they're calling the open agentic web.
Okay, this quote, right from the conference's opening video, it just perfectly captures the whole vibe. The message was clear. We're talking about boundless opportunity here, all fueled by a really fundamental shift in how we're going to interact with software.
So Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella put it this way. He said, "This is a platform shift as big as the birth of the internet or the cloud." The whole idea is that we're moving away from apps that are stuck in their own little silos to this web of interconnected agents that can actually work for us and, with each other.
But what does this agentic shift really look like when the rubber hits the road? Well, the best example, the one you can really wrap your head around, is the evolution of a tool that tons of developers already know and use, GitHub Copilot.
The key change here, the real pivot, is the relationship. We're going from an AI that helps you do the work, kind of like a pair programmer, to an AI you can actually delegate work to, a peer programmer. It's not just suggesting little snippets of code anymore. No, it's designed to take on entire tasks all by itself. And this isn't just some far-off concept. Nadella showed this working live on stage. He assigned a bug report straight to Copilot, and then it just went to work. It planned the fix, wrote the code, and submitted it for review. The biggest takeaway here, that entire tedious first draft of coding, that's now something you can just hand off.
OpenAI's Sam Altman popped in virtually and really hammered this point home. The real power that gets unlocked here is parallelism. A developer can now hand off multiple bug fixes or new features to different AI teammates and have them all working at the same time. You can see how that would just radically speed up the whole development cycle.
But look, one amazing AI teammate isn't going to be enough to power a whole new web, right? You need a factory, a place that can build and run millions of them. And that's exactly where Microsoft's cloud platform, Azure, steps in.
And we have to just pause and think about the scale we're talking about. This is not for a small group of early adopters. This whole infrastructure is being built to serve the 150 million developers who are already on GitHub. The foundation for this is absolutely massive.
Microsoft is calling this the Azure AI Foundry, and they describe it as a production line for intelligence. It's the whole toolkit. So, for example, sophisticated retrieval just means that these agents can be grounded in your company's own real-time data, not just public web stuff. And multi-agent orchestration is what lets you build teams of these agents to work together. It's the whole shebang, with your choice of AI models and all the security built right in.
Now, a huge piece of this factory is choice. Developers are not locked into one AI model. They can grab top-tier stuff from OpenAI, a whole bunch of great open-source models like Llama and Mistral, and, this was a major announcement, they can now use Grok from Elon Musk's xAI.
And this brings us to the next level, multi-agent orchestration. The Foundry isn't just about building one-off agents. Think about something like bringing a new person onto the team, a process that has to touch HR, IT, and finance. Now, you can build a whole team of specialized agents that actually work together to automate that entire workflow from start to finish.
This whole vision isn't just stuck in the cloud either. This is huge. Microsoft is fundamentally re-architecting Windows to be a core part of this agentic web, bringing all this power right down to your local PC.
They're pulling this off in three key ways. First, a Foundry local toolkit to build and run agents on your machine. Second, a brand new super efficient on-device model called Phi Silica, which is designed to handle complex tasks without even needing the cloud. And third, native support for something called MCP, the Microsoft Connector Protocol. Just think of it as a secure language that lets these AI agents talk directly to your operating system and your apps, but, and this is key, only with your permission.
Okay, so we've seen agents for developers and agents for business. But Microsoft is pointing this entire tech stack at one of humanity's biggest, grandest challenges, accelerating scientific discovery itself. This question, right here, led to probably the most ambitious announcement of the whole event, a completely new platform called Microsoft Discovery. It's designed from the ground up to be a co-pilot for scientists.
What's so crucial here is how this just flips the scientific method on its head.
Instead of that slow, step-by-step process, discovery creates this incredibly fast, iterative loop. You've got agents researching, hypothesizing, and simulating, basically compressing months or even years of lab work down into days.
And this wasn't just talk. In a live demo, Microsoft showed how they used the Discovery platform to find a brand new, very promising material for cooling data centers, a material that completely avoids using those harmful forever chemicals. I mean, that's a real discovery, made possible by a totally new kind of science.
So what holds this entire massive vision together? Well, according to Microsoft's CTO, Kevin Scott, the single most important word for the future of this agentic web is open.
He made a really powerful case that this new web just cannot be a walled garden that's controlled by any one company. For it to ever reach its full potential, it has to be an open, interoperable ecosystem where anyone can build, connect, and contribute. A lot like the original dream for the internet. The goal is to make sure the web is defined by the imagination of millions, not just one.
And that leaves us with the final and really the most important question. This whole shift from AI as a simple tool to AI as a true collaborator, it puts an immense amount of new power in our hands. The potential is obvious, right? From fixing a tiny bug to discovering a new material. The only question left is, what will we as creators and thinkers choose to do with it?